An estimate of 250 million children ages 5 to 14 are forced to work on sweatshops in developing countries. Today, I will persuade the class that we should stop purchasing from stores that use sweatshops. In order to achieve so, I will first discuss the poor condition of sweatshop factories and the poor wage. Then I will introduce my solution. Sweatshops are factories that hire children and undocumented immigrants who work in poor working conditions. For instance, child labor. In the article, Your Dress is Pretty, Who Made It? By The World Counts states that rugs and carpets manufacturers prefer children because of their small and fast hands. Now, children as young as 6 years have been found working in sweatshops for up to 16 hours per day. Imagine a 6-year-old working 16 hours per day. Now that's insane. Imagine if it was your child. How would you feel that your 6-year-old child is actually being forced to work 16 hours per day? Now, sweatshops are also familiarized for poor working conditions. Sweatshop workers work in extreme heat and extreme cold. Now, some workers actually work nonstop without any sleep. In this quote by The World Counts states that in the worst forms of sweatshops, people are forced to work up to 72 hours of straight work without any sleep. Now, that's a lot of hours without any sleep. And those who do complain are actually get beaten or abused. In this TikTok video, What Would Happen If You Don't Sleep by Claudia Aguilera, published November 2015, she discusses the importance of sleep. Now, every individual should be getting at least 8 hours of sleep. Now, if an individual doesn't get the amount of sleep they need, their body and mind doesn't function properly. Imagine those sweatshop workers who work nonstop without any sleep. I mean, how are they working if their mind and their bodies are not functioning the correct way? I mean, my mind wouldn't be all there. Now, keep in mind that it is important for those who work in sweatshops get paid good enough since they are working in poor conditions. Now, sweatshops are also familiarized for people who do get paid at a low wage. Now these sweatshop workers be working long hours. And according to this article, History of Sweatshops by George Biddle, published May 29 in 2019, he stated that people often work more than 100 hours per week. So keep in mind that children that are 6 years are working up to 16 hours per week. Now, in this article, it's stating that some people are actually working over 100 hours per week. How are these sweatshop companies keeping in mind that these workers need their rest and their sleep? And also, due to their overtime, due to the long hours, they do not get paid overtime. They sometimes have delayed salaries, and we need to also keep in mind that many of these sweatshop workers, with the little money they earn, they need it to feed their families. On the contrary, some people may argue that sweatshops are good to have due to keeping the people from poverty. Many people, such as undocumented immigrants, come to America for a better life. Now, sweatshop factories are the ones that take advantage of those immigrant people that do come to America. They would seek any labor job. So they will for sure say yes to any sweatshop company. In the article, How Some People Defend Sweatshops and Why It's Good Enough by Honey Payne, she actually quoted the people who choose to work in sweatshops are doing so because they believe that this job is the best alternative available to them, even when the pay is low and the job is dangerous. Concluding to all of these poor conditions that the sweatshop factories provide to these workers, there's also the poor wage. These sweatshop workers are not getting paid for their hard work. They sometimes pay less than 20 cents per day or about 1 cent per hour. And the article, The Word Counts, that was published um, stated that a shirt that sells for $60 on Western markets can cost less than 10 cents in labor wages. This is sad because these sweatshop workers are working so hard and they do not get paid for their great work. They will never actually know how much their hard work is worth because of their minimum wage. And now, keep in mind that to all of this, there's always a solution. The importance of knowing how a sweatshop works and what to do is to get informed. Now, get informed is the first thing that everyone needs to do. Learn something and spread the word. And lastly, do something. It's important to know about sweatshops and what the purpose of them is and how to support them. Now, if you're out shopping for whatever you're shopping, it can be food, it can be clothes, accessories, shoes. It's important to know and to get informed if these items you're purchasing are from people who work in sweatshops. Now, the way to find out is by asking questions to the stores or whoever is in the store. If the employee doesn't know, they can ask a manager, and the manager will do whatever in their power to get you answers. Now, it is important to know this information, especially if the workers are being treated unfairly. And the other thing that we cannot do as consumers is just stop shopping at stores that utilize sweatshops. According to the article Green America, what you can do about sweatshops. Green America members published this article in 2018. They state that the fair trade is an economic system that ensures healthy working conditions, self-determination, and fair wages for workers. Now, this is actually important information that everyone should know because fair trade, it's important to know what stores utilize workers who are not being mistreated and that they are not working in poor conditions. Now, as consumers, we can stop supporting the stores that use sweatshops. This will help the children and all the undocumented people that work in sweatshops. Let's be the change. We as the consumers can be the change when we're out in our environment. Overall, getting informed about sweatshop is important due to all the inhuman ways that people are being produced, the way that products are being produced. Now, we as a consumer should stop shopping at stores that use sweatshops for the reason that the workers work in conditions that in poor conditions and that they are also being paid at a poor wage. Sweatshops have many hardworking people as young as children who get abused and work in the heat and cold. They do not get paid the income that is necessary for their hard work. switches need to be banished for good. That's my solution. That they need to be banished for good. And how would you feel if it was your children that are being forced to work? I know I wouldn't want my children. I mean, would you? Let's rethink about the clothes we purchase, such as accessories, shoes, rugs, etc. Therefore, learn something, do something, and we'll start by making a change